to...
Sitting in my car now, I'm doing an intervention session for a very stressed out Ben Davison. You're listening to Gareth at Davis TV, sponsored by... No, not at all. It's me and Ben Davison. We've been in London today having a meal, catching up after Tyson Fury's victory in Vegas last week. Where did you watch it? And what did you go through during the fight, Ben?
Yeah, obviously I was supposed to head over to Vegas to actually work the fight. Partly I was asked by a couple of companies about working the fight. I was thinking about it. I had tickets paid for, I had my flights all sorted and that. But I've been ill. I have been ill, and you know, obviously the announcement's out now about Josh Taylor. So I had Billy Joe Saunders, Josh Taylor in training camp. I couldn't get a direct flight from Manchester, so for me to do 40 hours of travelling there and back, it was gonna make me ill, or at least extend my illness. And you know, I have to prioritise things, and I'm here to do a job for the boys, you know, so I had to prioritise that. So I watched it in my hotel room, and
alone
with my missus, and she actually said to me, "You're shaking," and I was literally watching it shaking. And
was that the adrenaline, nerves,
everything, you know? I was very, very anxious. Do you want to know the truth? And this is the first time I've said this, and this is the actual truth. I swear to God, I'm still suffering with a little bit of anxiety from it. And that's the actual truth.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've been laying in bed of a night time.
It's Friday now, so it's like 6 days since the event.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just...
You still need that poo you haven't had yet, yeah? Is it like that?
I don't know. The week of the fight, and then this week, I've had a lot of anxiety. Like, my heart's been racing of a bed of a night time, and sometimes you can't put your finger... With anxiety, you can't put your finger on exactly why that is. But... yeah,
so not nerves then, just...
I was nervous, but now I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. Like I say, with anxiety, depression, these sorts of things, you can't put your finger exactly on it. And, you know, I've spoke to Tyson since, so, you know, everything's in a good place in that, and I'm happy. And, you know, for him to get the job done and put the cherry on top of the cake that nobody thought would make it. Nobody thought that we'd be able to bake it, and... you know, it's finally fully decorated now.
So you're sitting there, you're in the hotel room in Manchester where you've been training with Billy Joe and Josh Taylor. Congratulations on training him. I think it's a great coup for you, that one. He's going to be a terrific kind of addition for your training stable. I bet you're very excited. We'll come to that in a minute. But so you got a beautiful girlfriend. I've met her. But having said that, I was sitting with you and her at the Albert Hall when Dubois fought one night, and you went off to the loo at some point. She turned to me, and said, "Boxing, I don't get it." do you know she says that?
No,
no. What is it? What is it? She said to me.
But do you know what? I like that because even, you know, my family are boxing people. Everybody, I'm always around the boxing people. So you know, when I'm around her, she's not talking about boxing.
Yeah, that's nice for you.
Change, you know?
So she's watching it with you.
Yeah.
You're anxious and nervous. I think probably like we all were.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury said he's going to do this, that and the other. I know you're in touch with him because I was in touch with you. We did a piece in the Telegraph and you and he were in touch. You're still great friends and you've been texting and all that kind of stuff. So did you stay up all night first of all or not?
I watched Isaac Lowe because obviously, you know, that one had a
rough old fight, didn't he?
Sentiment for me. He did. I will say the referee had an absolute nightmare in that fight, but Isaac stuck to it, dropped him as well, and put in a good performance and got a very good win. He's
under the kind of masterful big shadow of Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
He's creeping up,
He's creeping up. He's creeping up.
He's going to get a Gary Russell or he's going to get one of those fights,
of
isn't
course.
he? Yeah.
And
I tell you what, he looked in terrific physical shape.
Yeah, he did.
I thought
he did. Isaac's last fight, he really ballooned up before that. He didn't perform very well, but to be fair to him, the two previous to that, on the Wilder Fury first fight undercard and the undercard of Tom Schwartz, he was in great shape, and he put in some very good performances, and it's good to see him stick with that, and that's what he's got to keep maintaining now to keep stepping up that ladder.
So nitty gritty. So Isaac's won. So you kind of. having lots of coffees during the night then? Or
No,
something?
I went to sleep, set my alarm, and woke up. And
What time was it?
About 3 o'clock. I woke up,
Okay.
3:30.
Yeah.
Watched the Gerald Washington fight.
Yeah.
With
Fell
Charles
asleep again
Martin.
during that.
Yeah, nearly. And then, obviously waiting for the big one.
So what did you think when he came into the music and on the throne?
I liked it. It was good, but
Crazy.
that's Tyson though. He is, isn't
Crazy for loving you. Well, I thought he was saying a lot of things.
he? Yeah,
There was a lot of subliminal messages there, weren't there?
100%.
About his mental health, about I've embraced oblivion, that I love this life. Did you see all those things?
Yeah, I did, and obviously I know Tyson extremely well, so I know that would have had something to do with the way he was. People talking about the game plan being crazy, and it was a great match, but obviously all that means nothing if you go in there and don't do the business. But he did. He went in there and done the business.
So you watch him come in, Wilder comes into his dark number, doesn't he? Very sinister, wasn't it? The outfit and
Sinister,
everything.
or what was the other word you was going to use there?
What, dark?
Satanic.
Satanic, maybe.
It is, isn't it?
Well, I didn't see it that way. I just thought it was just very dark. It had a dark mood about it, you know? It was very aggressive. It was very... You felt it was satanic, did you?
Well, do you remember the first time they done the round table thing and they all half got into that conversation, and Tyson was adamant from that moment that there's a sort of, let's just say they don't believe in the same sort of things, and it certainly looks a bit funny, doesn't it, in his suspect. And you hear rumours, I keep hearing rumours, listen, I don't know the man, so I can't say, but yeah, I heard rumours that, I'm not even going to say it, but you hear some funny things and that. But
I'm interested in what you were going through when you were watching this.
Yeah, obviously I've got. I was speaking to you off camera earlier. I've got texts from Tyson about the way about how this is from back in November. Obviously before we parted ways and that, and about
putting it on him in the first round. I've said that you've shown me them. I will verify that. I don't need you to show me them. If you want to show me, you can. But I have read them with you today, and because you were showing me, and it was quite amazing.
Yeah.
And he was saying to you, you know how excited he was at the idea of putting it on Wilder from the first round.
And he was talking about Sun Tzu.
The Art of War. That is the Chinese general who wrote the amazing book, The Art of War.
We knew that Wilder was going to be a lot more patient in this fight, and the element of surprise. And I always compare Deontay Wilder to Thomas Hearns. Some people take offence to that, but stylistically that's sort of how I look at him, and then I look at how was he beat in his career. And, you had Sugar Ray Leonard who beat him, and Tyson sort of done the Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. That was the fight that I looked at for the first game plan, obviously taking into consideration Tyson's weight loss and where he was physically going into that fight. Then you look at how else was he beaten, the Marvin Hagler approach, and that was the approach that I will say, as much as everybody can be an expert after, but that was Tyson's decision. Tyson said to me he wanted to go about the fight in that way. I believe that the 12th round was a real significant element to how this fight played out, because I just feel that in the 12th round, sometimes as a fighter you can see, but more importantly sometimes you can feel things that a trainer can't see or feel, and sometimes a trainer can see things that a fighter can't see. And Tyson's adamant he wanted to go about in that approach, and I just believe that he felt something leave Deontay Wilder in that round 12. And in round 1, when Tyson got hit with the first right hand and then shaped back up, took a step towards Wilder, I just believe that moment there clicked with Wilder to say, this is round 13 and you're now in with a fresh, recovered, stronger, in a better place Tyson Fury.
Did you see that in Wilder's body language and his face?
I saw it and I just done the breakdown there with BT Sports. You'll be able to see it where I actually show some examples in it. But Wilder's got some fundamentals that his team actually call it good back foot, which means that he steps back foot first. But because he was so, from that moment on, focused on what this man Mountain was doing, he was actually making fundamental flaws. We know he's got fundamental flaws, but a fundamental flaw that he doesn't usually make, because he was so occupied and focused on what Tyson was doing. That showed, really, me and you discussed it, about the weigh-in. The moment he come in at the weigh-in, we knew that, okay,
it just swung back to Fury.
You're making adjustments
Yeah.
to suit to nullify Tyson, as opposed to making him nullify you. And that was when I knew that Tyson was in his head.
Just tell me what you went through then. Rounds 1, Wilder came back a bit in round 2, but then Tyson just dominates, puts him down in 3. You're probably screaming, be patient, be patient. He wins 4, he puts him down with a body shot in 5. What are you going through in all of this?
Tyson went back in a straight line with the first right hand. It just glanced him, and he done the same thing in the second round. I actually wasn't thinking be patient. I was thinking, when Wilder steps in with the 1-2, and something I spoke about in the pre-fight breakdown, to go underneath the right hand, use Wilder's punches as your entry, and he made that adjustment. Tyson's a real smart fighter, and he made that adjustment. He went underneath the right hand and went to it. Once he physically got hold of Wilder, he was too big and too strong. And once he was able to manhandle him, bit by bit, he started to break Wilder down. And then, of course, on top of that, he started to land some cleaner shots, put some firmer shots together, and he really, you go in there with a plan. The plan was, from when I discussed with Tyson, a hard start fast, but sort of educated pressure, and do it in a way where he floated between the Leonard and Hagler sort of style. But Tyson done that much damage early and was that dominant and broke Wilder that quickly that he could literally just afford to just keep turning the screw. And you got to give credit to Sugar Hill and Andy Lee as well. There were some nice tactical and technical adjustments there that really suited the offensive style that Tyson chose for the approach for that fight.
So some quick fire questions, because you've got to catch a train in 3 minutes, yeah, because we've had dinner and I know you've got to catch your train. What was your feeling like inside?
I was just extremely anxious. I was, shaking, and even because you couldn't see it coming, but I was always wary that Wilder has that power where he can just pull a shot out of the bag.
Even in the 5th and 6th, he's still dangerous, isn't he?
He's always
He threw an
dangerous.
uppercut at one point,
Yeah.
and hit Tyson with it when they were in the clinch in the corner. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He was there, wasn't he? But Breland pulling him out, right thing, so they get the trilogy?
Yeah, I don't think it was the right thing for the trilogy, but I just think it was the right decision for Wilder to be able to come again another day.
But as a friend and deep inside yourself, once he'd won, how did it feel? Were you jumping around the hotel room, or were you just exhausted, or what were you?
I was over the moon. I was delighted the fashion that he done it in. But do you want to be the honest truth is, the next day I sort of text a few of the lads just to get a gauge of Tyson's mood, and the first thing that sort of come to my mind was, I want to make sure he's okay emotionally over this next period, because obviously I don't see it happening at all, but we know what happened after the Klitschko win, and I just want to make sure that he knows and understands what he's achieved, what it means, but I also want him to know that he's more than just a boxer as well. He's a friend to people, he's a brother to people, he's a dad to people, he's a husband to people, he's a son, and that, people are there for Tyson as well as the Gypsy King, and that's sort of what was on my mind over the next couple of days after the fight, to be honest.
Next week I'm going to catch up with you in Manchester, in a fulsome way, on Billy Joe Saunders. We hope he gets the Canelo fight, and also on Josh Taylor, who you're working with now. But I'm going to make you go and catch that train. Go, Ben, go, I say. Go, 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 go.
100%. What time's the train coming?
Right now. You better run. Can I watch you running down the platform?
If you want. What time is it? And,
right now, mate. I don't want you to miss the train. Go.
What way?
Go.
What way do I go?
Just run straight along there.
Okay,
That was Ben Davison, everybody. See you soon.
See you later, mate.